When Matt stumbled upon Whisker, a tiny palm-sized kitten nestled in his boat, the little furble appeared alarmingly lifeless. However, as the next 5 months unfolded, a remarkable and unexpected transformation took place. This heartwarming tale is a testament to love, hope, and selflessness, serving as a poignant reminder that the world still holds abundant reservoirs of goodness and kindness. Matt and Louise were a happy couple with 2 kids, living a modest life in a small town with their pets. One important morning, Matt left his house early to go to the garage where he stored his boat during the winter. Spring was approaching, and he needed to clean the boat for the new season. While searching for cleaning supplies in the garage, he suddenly heard a meow. He stopped to figure out where the sound was coming from, but everything went quiet, and he thought he might be imagining things. He continued searching the shelves. A few minutes later, he heard the meow again, this time closer. Although his family had a cat, she avoided the garage, so he was curious about the source of the sound. Listening carefully, he realized the meowing was coming from his boat. Matt walked over and lifted the cover, discovering a small furry creature inside. Startled, Matt retreated to a corner, but his heart melted when he saw the tiny creature. He gently extended his hand, inviting the kitten to come closer, but it quickly darted away, still scared. Understanding the kitten's fear, Matt reassured it, saying, "Hey, it's okay. I won't harm you. You're safe with me, I promise." The kitten must have felt Matt's sincerity because he allowed Matt to get closer and carry him. Matt was surprised by the kitten's appearance. He looked so tiny. Almost right away, the kitten shut his eyes and lay on Matt's palm, motionless. The poor animal looked lifeless. Alarmed, Matt abandoned his cleaning plans and took the cat into the house so he could show Louise. "Where did you find such a precious, adorable creature?" Louise said, gazing lovingly at the kitten. Matt quickly explained how he had found him and the kitten's alarming behavior once he had held him in his palm. "He's not meant to look like this, right?" Matt asked. Louise nodded. "He's probably hungry and cold. Let's feed him first and cover him with a warm blanket. I'm sure he will be better before the day runs out." She leaned in and placed a kiss on the kitten. Louise and Matt called the kitten Whisker at first because he had prominent whiskers, but they had no idea that the nickname would stick. Louise tried to feed Whisker milk from a bottle, but he barely drank anything. So they covered him with a blanket and let him sleep. While he slept, they found out that Whisker was born a block away in a garage. The garage owner cared for feral cats in the neighborhood and had looked after Whisker's mama when she was pregnant. However, a few days after his birth, Whisker lost his mama and a litter mate. The mama was found dead, and the sibling was run over by a vehicle. Whisker had gone missing too. The garage owner thought he had died as well, but unbeknownst to him, he had actually taken refuge in Matt's boat. When evening came and Whisker's condition wasn't any better, the couple was worried. Quickly, they rushed Whisker to a veterinarian who diagnosed him with an upper respiratory infection. Louise and Matt were very sorry to hear this. Whisker had just come into their lives, but they already loved him as if they had known him for a long time. The veterinarian decided to keep Whisker overnight for observation. After placing him on antibiotics, he also told the couple to return the following day for the results of the tests they would carry out. The duo returned home but couldn't sleep that night. Louise sat up in bed in the middle of the night and turned to Matt with sad eyes. "Do you think Whisker will make it? I'm so scared for the little guy," she said. Matt hugged her and told her not to worry. "Let's keep hope alive. Everything will go well," he assured her. Early in the morning, the couple planned to leave for the clinic to check on Whisker. However, a few emergencies came up that needed their attention, so by the time they arrived at the clinic, it was already afternoon. "Hey little boy, how are you doing?" Matt and Louise said when they got to the room where Whisker was kept. When Whisker heard their voices, he cracked his eyes open for a second, but quickly shut them closed again. This action surprised the vet because Whisker hadn't opened his eyes all night. It was as if hearing his new owner's voices filled the poor cat with strength and courage for a few seconds. Afterward, the vet asked the couple to come into his office so he could discuss the results of Whisker's examination with them. You see, the test showed that Whisker had fading kitten syndrome. This syndrome is prevalent among neonatal kittens like Whisker and is often fatal, the vet explained. It could have been caused by an infection, extreme temperatures, congenital abnormalities, or the fact that Whisker suffered from poor nutrition before they found him. The vet asked the couple to pray and wait since nothing else could be done except to continue treatment. After 2 weeks of treatment without any significant changes in Whisker's condition, the vet called the couple and told them that they needed to put Whisker down. The couple vehemently refused and affirmed that they believed he would pull through. They took Whisker home and nursed him. Louise sang to him as often as she tended to him and forced milk into his mouth. Matt made a small bed for Whisker in their bedroom. They wanted him near for that tentative period because they couldn't bear to have him away from their sight for 1 second. Whisker often appeared dead, and they constantly checked to ensure that he was still breathing. A few weeks after they took the cat home, Louise noticed that Whisker wasn't breathing. "Whisker, I know you can hear me. Please wake up," she said as tears ran down her cheeks. It was the middle of the night and Matt was fast asleep. Louise went over to him and shook him until he woke up. "Matt, Whisker isn't breathing." "I don't know what's wrong," she panicked. Matt jumped out of bed and rushed to where the lifeless-looking Whisker lay. Trained in cat first aid, Matt quickly performed CPR on Whisker. He laid him on his side and placed his mouth above Whisker's nostrils, forming a tube with his hands around his mouth and directed at Whisker's muzzle. He blew hard for a few seconds. The kitten's chest was supposed to rise, but nothing happened. Matt tried a few more times before he looked at Louise, shook his head, and said, "It's over." He stopped fighting, and Louise broke down in tears while Matt buried his face in his hands. They couldn't tell how long they remained in that state, but a sudden meowing sound halted their grief. They glanced in Whisker's direction, and there he was, staring back at them and breathing. Drying her tears, Louise acted fast and grabbed a bottle of milk to feed him. Surprisingly, he drank to the last drop and meowed for more. Delighted, Louise fed in one more bottle. The couple was so happy for the cat, it was as if a miracle had happened. At daybreak, they took Whisker back to the clinic, where the vet confirmed that he was doing much better. He prescribed some drugs and activities to get Whisker back on his feet. The couple did their research and included their kids in the process. It didn't take long for Whisker to start getting better. As time passed, he became really playful and loved hanging out with their Chihuahua dog. They became instant buddies and were always together in the house. Whisker also enjoyed cuddling with any family member, either sleeping beside them, curling around their heads, or sitting on them. After 5 months, Whisker, who used to be small and sickly, had grown into a big, beautiful, fluffy cat. He showered his family with love and got along well with the other pets at home. He never caused any trouble and seemed to understand the family's emotions, often keeping them company. Sometimes, the family shared pictures of their pets on social media. When they shared Whisker's story, it got a lot of attention, and people sent in many comments, wishing the family happiness and good health. People appreciated the family for giving Whisker a chance when they didn't have to, and they saw what a big difference their love and kindness had made.